Greetings to all my dear children. So today in this video we are going to study a poem originally written by Subramanya Bharati and translated by A.K. Ramanujan. And the name of the poem is Wind. It's a short poem written with unequal and unrhyming lines. There are 23 lines. It consists of 23 lines. It is a modern poetry written in free verse. What do you mean by free verse? As I told you before, that it is written with unequal and unrhyming lines. Clear? Let's move on to the explanation of the poem. So the name of the poem is Wind. The wind blows strongly and causes a lot of destruction. Before rain, many a time we observe wind blowing very strongly, my dear children. It is accompanied by thunderstorm and lightning as well. Wind is a natural phenomenon, my dear children, and it is supposed to bring destructions in our life. It may be constructive as well. So let's begin with the poem. Wind, come softly. Do not break the shutters of the windows. So in the first line itself, you can see that the poet urges the wind to come very softly, as soft as a child. And he requests the wind not to break the shutters of the windows. As I told you, wind symbolizes here the hardships and struggles that come into our lives. Do not scatter the papers. So here, this poem is very insightful, my dear children. We live very happily. We are surrounded by, comforts of our lives, many comforts, but sometimes all of a sudden we may have to face hurdles, challenges, adversities in our lives. So here the poet, in the first line itself, the poet addresses the wind and says, and he requests the wind. He addresses and requests the wind and says the wind to come softly, softly as a child, and not to break the shutters of the windows, not to scatter the papers, not to throw down the books on the shelf. So, what he means to say here, that everything is well organized in his life. He is leading his life happily. And suddenly there comes the wind. Wind, as I told you, symbolizes hurdles, challenges, difficulties, adversities. And it seems that it is going to ruin everything, destroy everything in his life. And so he urges those problems, he requests it to come softly. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. Now, as I told you, wind is destructive as well as constructive in nature. So here, the wind behaves like an adamant child, very stubborn, ready to, create disturbance and destroy and ruin everything. So the poet says, look what you did. The tone of the speaker or the poet here is accusatory. He's accusing, blaming the wind for the destruction that it had caused. So there, look what you did. You threw them all down. You have spoiled everything. You have disorganized everything. So once, as I told you, He may be leading his life very happily, but suddenly he faces misfortune in his life and he's sad and he accuses those problems. Once again, I would like to tell you that wind here symbolizes problems, hurdles. So he starts accusing, blaming these problems. And what he says the next, you tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. So wind followed by rain. You have just tore the pages. You have destroyed the book. You have destroyed everything in my life, the poet says. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Next he says that the wind, who is addressed as you over here, that wind is very clever at poking. Poking means teasing, making fun at those who are very weak. Okay? As they cannot withstand the adversities of life, the problems, the hardships that come into their lives. Frail, crumbling houses. Frail means weak. So you have broken, crumbling means broken. You have broken those weak houses. You have broken doors. You have broken rafters. These are the rafters. Beam. Okay, my dear children? Beam to support the roof. Wood that is used to support the roof. Fine. Now next he says, frail, crumbling houses, you have broken the weak. Frail means weak. Okay. Frail means weak. You have broken the weak houses. You have broken doors. You have broken rafters. Beam, as I told you, that supports the roof of the house. Crumbling wood, you have broken the forest, you have caused destruction everywhere. Crumbling bodies, the foundation that is weak. Crumbling lives. And even you have broken hearts. So when blows strongly, when it is violent, it brings destruction everywhere. Further, the poet says, the wind god winnows. So he considers wind as God. And he says that it winnows. Winnowing is the process in which, the grain is separated from the chaff. So here, the wind god winnows, separates the weaker from the stronger ones and crushes them all. Crushes them all means crushes the one who are weaker, my dear children, who cannot withstand the obstacles and difficulties that come into their lives. He won't do what you tell him. And next he says, the poet says, don't hope and expect anything from the problems that comes into your life, because they come untold. They will not remind you before coming into your lives. He is wind here. You is wind here. Personified. Wind is personified. So he personifies wind over here and says, he won't do what you tell him. No command, no order to him will work here, my dear children. As problems come into one's life untold. So come, let's build strong homes. So what we should do further? We should build our homes, that is our foundation, very strong. Let's join the doors firmly. Doors, our body, our foundation, our mental stamina. We should be mentally tough and physically strong, he says. Practice to form the body. Practice to be hard and strong, physically strong. Make the heart steadfast, very strong, that no problem can break you. Fine? Do this. So, he tells us to follow all these things, to make our heart strong, to make our mind strong, to make us physically strong and mentally tough, and then the result will be phenomenal. And the wind will be friend with us. Okay, there will be it will yield a great result to us. The wind is going to be friend with us. We are going to be friend with these problems. The wind blows out weak fires, and remember, those who are weak, the poet says, the wind blows out the weak fires, the weak people, and those who are strong, those who are physically strong, they roar, they flourish, they grow, and they keep on growing as they accept the challenges, as they accept the adversities that come into their lives. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. And instead of being sad and sitting disappointed, we must be friend with wind. We must praise him and face the challenges happily to overcome these problems of our lives. I hope the points are clear to you. So here we are going to learn the message that we have got after reading the poem. The message conveyed through the poem Wind is that we should never give up when there are obstacles and hardships in life. We should face those obstacles with strong willpower, like poet befriends the wind, so that it could not harm the poet in any way. The strong message that is conveyed by the poet is that we should look towards the brighter side of life, and we should change our problems into weapons. Remember, as I told you, those whose foundation is weak, my dear children, they are winnowed from the stronger ones. So we must befriend with the problems that is in the form of wind that comes to our life. We must befriend the problems and must be able to overcome them, those problems, okay, by being mentally tough and physically strong. So here are few literary devices that are used in the poem. The entire poem is written in free verse, my dear children. There's no rhyme scheme in the poem. So if there's no rhyme scheme, it means that the poem is written in free verse. Next is anaphora. When a word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines, as you can see in the poem itself, don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. So there's a repetition of the word don't in successive lines. So that is called anaphora. Personification. As I have earlier told you, that wind is personified in this poem. Okay, so he makes strong fires roar and flourish. So he is nobody but wind here, and wind is personified as a person. Repetition. Crumbling is a word that is repeated in a line. The poet wants to say that the wind crushes everything that is weak. That is why he repeats the word crumbling, and the poetic device is repetition. Next is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound in close connection. Wind, winnows. Fine. Won't, want. Fine. So there's a repetition of letters and sound, consonant sound. So it is alliteration. Symbolism. Symbolism means that the thing refers to some other thing. When is a symbol, it refers to the challenges in life. He is using wind as a symbol for the adversities in our life. So wind is symbolized. Poetic device is symbolism. So I've given you a few extract based questions over here. You are going to do these questions in your English copy. Hope you are keeping safe and keeping yourself at home. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.